This is actually my third time to come speak to you folks. In 2008, 2007, and 2009, I stood up here and told you that you really needed to be careful about Chilean wines being lumped completely into inexpensive, cheap wines, and how that would not make you a really viable country for the type of customer that subscribes to our newsletter. Up on the screen here is a typical note. Our readers are extremely serious, extremely tough, extremely picky, and honestly, the older generation is not particularly open-minded. So they need to be convinced that a country has a number of options before they're taken seriously. And honestly, right now, Chile is mostly known for its superb value white wines. In my opinion, there's no better country in the world for delivering value, bang for the buck, for white wine than Chile. And for reds, the only other country, at least for the wines available in the US, that can match Chile is Spain. So you've got that covered very, very well. I don't want to say sit back, relax, but obviously you've mastered this. The icon wines, starting to pick up a little bit of interest, but obviously the production is very low, and in many cases the profit for those wines for you, which is important, is minimal. So the question is, where can you make money? Also, what can you do to convince a skeptical, picky, and spoiled for choice American consumer that Chile is a country to be taken seriously and a country that can compete with the old world, not to mention the new world, for everything. You need to take what I call a 360-degree approach to the marketplace. So right now, you really have bookends. You have the inexpensive wines, you have the icon wines. What I've found in most of my tastings over the last few years is that when I taste an $18 wine from Chile or a $20 wine from Chile, the difference, or the quality difference between it and the $12 wine is often, honestly, not there to justify the increase in price. What you don't want is for too long to validate that suspicion to consumers, because then you'll get stuck, okay, not at the $8 level, but you'll get stuck at the $12 level. I'm not a winemaker, obviously I'm not privy to why you do the things you do and why you make the wines you make. I'm strictly observing and writing these very dry notes. And when our customers look at a series of notes, for example, last year I believe I reviewed almost 900 Chilean wines. And when people see descriptors, and again, these are very dry. The first time I sent an article to my father-in-law, who drinks a lot of wine but doesn't read about wine, I called him later and said, what'd you think? He said, it put me to sleep. And I said, don't take it to bed. He said, I didn't take it to bed. I was sitting in a chair. But this is a typical, this is the information, though, that our subscribers want. Our subscribers are members of the trade, importers, wholesalers, sommeliers, and again, these are critical people. They use this as a buying guide, and when they see these notes and they see these descriptions, and unfortunately they see the scores, we're stuck with the scoring system. I don't personally like it, but this is the world I've chosen. And when they see a wine for $12, and I hate to use the points, and it's an 87-point wine, and then a $20 wine, same grape, often from the same producer, is only a point higher, obviously they're going to ask, why should I be paying up? So somehow I think you, as producers here, need to address that question, really why. When you're tasting your own wines, don't have an $18 to $20 wine just to have it. And don't expect the marketplace to accept it just because it looks logical as a tiered system within your winery. It has to have a reason. I think that's especially true when you're talking about wines between $18 and say $25, because there you're getting into the realm of the old world, France in particular, and I'm thinking Sauvignon Blanc. If you've got a $20, $25 Sauvignon Blanc, you're competing with Sancerre and Puy-Fumé, and these are wines that Americans have been buying for 3-4 generations. That's a very, very tough category. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, this is easy, or as one of our colleagues said in the past, if you make it, they will buy it. They won't. And they are suspicious. They're far less suspicious now than they were when I stood here in 2007. There's no question that Chile is taken quite seriously by far more buyers than was the situation 4 years ago. There's no question at all. I mean, as the title of my talk is, you need to think about how you can offer a customer everything. Diversity is the key. What has made, I can say, the Loire Valley successful, and I'll focus on Sauvignon Blanc, is that in the Loire Valley, you can buy a $10 wine, a basic Vin de Pays. You can buy a $14 Touraine. You can buy an $18 Cancy, and you can buy a $25 Sancerre. So the Loire producers, or the Loire in general, has the luxury of really offering everything to a customer, so the customer can think, well, why should I look anyplace else? You guys need to address that, not just with Sauvignon Blanc, also with, say, Cabernet. I mean, when I taste a $28 to $30 Cabernet or Cabernet blend, we're talking about wines that are priced very similar to Petit Chateau Bordeaux, many with long-standing reputations. We're talking about Napa. That's a tough category, and I'm sure you guys know that in trying to deal with the marketplace. I'm sure you get the type of feedback from importers in different countries around the world. It's a scary area, and it will not be easy to tackle that area. But if you want to make a real presence felt in the United States, it's absolutely critical that you have those wines and that those wines deliver real value. Make them, you taste your own wines, taste them with a critical eye, as I try to do, and ask yourself, really, can I expect somebody to pay $10 more for this wine than for this one? If you can, you're set, and I do believe that with patience, with time, people will get the hang of it, but you can't fool them. We're too spoiled for choice right now. I taste over 10,000 wines a year for the publication. My colleague, boss Steve Tanzer, tastes about 10,000 as well. The choices are so unlimited. Quality around the world has gotten so much higher. In a nutshell, the customer, our subscribers are very spoiled. Give them a reason to buy your wines. Not just because it's a price that you think is going to fit. We obviously didn't have a lot of time to give these little talks. I mean, we're on sort of program, but obviously I'm going to be here all day today and tonight. Please, anybody here, come talk to me. You need a little more detail about this, but I just wanted to give you a very general overview of the type of person who thinks that that is an entertaining note is a very tough customer. So don't expect it to happen quickly. And if you really, honestly, if you're not willing to take it seriously, don't jump into it. It's a very tough category. I do believe it is possibly the most profitable category. And you can't exist as a country and as producers by simply making inexpensive wines where you have no margin. That's a death wish. So tackle it. I'm not sure if that means taking icon juice and blending it down, working on your yields, giving your winemakers more rein to be more creative. Whatever it is, you must do it. And the sooner you start, the better off you're going to be. Thanks.